So we're going to make an ice cream today. We're going to make the base first. We're going to incorporate our strawberries, our strawberry flavor, and we're going to also talk about acidity because this is a fruit flavor. And also because it is an ice cream, we have to be careful we don't add too much acidity, but we have to add a little bit of acidity. We'll start by mixing our cane sugar and our milk first, and then we're going to set that aside in the refrigerator or in a freezer. So we want to get that chilled. It's important when making ice cream that all your ingredients are as cold as possible. That keeps the product less time in the machine, less whipping of air. Whipping of the air into the ice cream is a good thing, but we don't want too much. So colder is better. So all the ingredients should be as cold as you can get them prior to them freezing. All right, let's start with mixing our sugar in. So I have 3/4 cup of organic cane sugar, but you could use regular sugar if you want to. I like the flavor of organic cane sugar. It does impart a little bit of flavor. And because our ice cream base is going to have a little bit of vanilla in it, and this kind of has a kind of a molassesy caramel undertone, it's very weak. If I hadn't told you that, you wouldn't know. But there's an obvious difference in the color. One's dark, a little bit, tan, and one's pure white, bleached. I prefer obviously the organic version. I'm folding in 3/4 cup of organic cane sugar into 2 cups of whole milk. I'm gonna get this dissolved and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. And if you want to, you can put it in the freezer to speed things up. Okay, so now once you have it stirred, take a look. Looks like all the sugar's in. And now we're gonna stop for a second and we're gonna go set this aside, put it in a really cold refrigerator, or if you have a freezer, you can set it in to get it down to temperature as quickly as possible. That's great. Okay, just a moment to talk about acidity. It's important that the strawberry have a little bit of acidity to push it. It's like cream and sugar is to coffee. Whenever you're acidifying a ice cream base, you don't have much room to acidify. You can only put a little bit of acid in there. Otherwise, you're going to denature your mix, and that's a problem. Now, we have 2 different products here, or 2 different ingredients, if you will. The first one is a beaker of our citric acid solution, which you can find online at Nature's Flavors. And if you don't have citric acid solution or no way to make it yourself, you can just take a lemon and just cut a piece of lemon and just squeeze it a little bit. We'll do that in a minute into your mix and just wisp it in while you're dropping the drops in so it doesn't settle in the mix, because that'll cause it to kind of coagulate and break up the milk proteins. Okay, so now we're going to mix our ingredients together. We have our sugar dissolved in our whole milk, and I'm going to add my 1/2 and 1/2. Just kind of fold that in. And remember, we wanted to chill that a little bit to kind of get everything uniformly cold so that when we pour it into the machine, it's not too warm and we kind of speed the process up. I'm putting in my whipping cream now. Just stir that in. Mine was a little, not frozen, but certainly showing a little bit of ice. Before I add my flavor, I want to make sure that I have a little bit of acid in this flavor of ice cream because I'm using strawberry, and strawberry always has acid in it naturally. That's what makes strawberry pop, or any fruit flavor. So I'm just going to put a few drops in. But if you don't have citric acid solution at home or no way to make it, remember you can just cut a lemon and just squeeze a few drops into your ice cream base. But always remember, while you're putting that acid in there, you want to keep this moving because it'll curdle your ice cream base. So I'm just going to drop in a few drops, more than a few drops, and just keep that base moving so we don't have any curdling. I don't want to turn it into yogurt. All right, now everything's good on that. Now we're going to add some vanilla extract, and that just makes the strawberry pop a little bit more as well. And on that, it's just, you can't add too much, you can't add too little. I'm just going to give it a nice good squirt. Stir that in. Okay, our base is all mixed up. We have our flavor, our acid, our sugar, everything's all in here. Vanilla extract. One thing on the vanilla extract is I use our product 3007 vanilla flavor concentrate. It is an extract, it's a true extract, except because of the purposes of baking and dairy, or frozen products, we remove a lot of the alcohol from it, but it's still made with vanilla beans, alcohol. There is some alcohol still in it, but greatly reduced. But that's better for making ice cream. Too much alcohol in the base and it makes it harder to freeze. So now we're ready to dump our base into our ice cream machine. And we pre-chilled our machine, so it's been running pretty much the whole time we've been filming. And that's to get the bowl nice and cold as well. Like I said earlier, you want your base cold, you want the bowl cold. Anything that's touching the ice cream is going to need to be chilled. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot longer to get it down to temperature. I cut up 3 whole strawberries earlier, and I'm going to put those in there as well. And just for fun, we're going to add some dark chocolate chips. All right, so now everything's added in, the machine's pre-chilled. I'm going to turn this on, we're going to let it finish its process, and we're going to have a great tasting strawberry chocolate, dark chocolate ice cream here in a few moments. Okay, last thing we're going to do while our mix is mixing and chilling is we're going to add a little bit of color, and that's really kind of up to you. I'm using a hibiscus color. We have a red beet, we have a red radish. We don't have any bugs, no carmine, just plant-based colors. And it's really up to you. As I said, you can add as much or as little as you want. Sometimes these colors, these plant-based colors, they tend to turn purple if there's no acid in the mix. Since we put a little bit of acid in there already, I think we're going to see a nice color from this. But I'm just going to drop a few drops in, give it a second to spin around in there, and I'll adjust accordingly, more or less. And this is a relatively inexpensive ingredient, so it's not like you're throwing a bunch of money in there. Okay, so our mix has been running now for a little bit, and everything's nice and firmed up. It's about as hard as the ice cream's gonna get. So let's stop the machine, take a quick taste, see how it turned out. That's amazing. And that's how you make a good strawberry flavored ice cream using our strawberry flavor concentrate. And just to mention that you don't have to use strawberry flavor. You could do a blackberry, a raspberry, a praline. Of course, you wouldn't add any acid if you did that. But any of the flavor concentrates are perfect for making ice cream. All right, this is the Flavor Guy. Until next time.